Hello, my name is Dakota, and today it is November 2nd, 2025, and welcome to a week in my life as a third-year medical student. This week, I'm going to be on my psychiatry rotation, so I hope that I have plenty of things to share with you that you'll enjoy. As far as rotation time is concerned, psych is kind of known for not having a lot of hours in the hospital, so I'll have a lot of time outside where I can hopefully do fun things and film and show you. So without further ado, here is a week in my life as a third-year medical student. My preceptor says that he doesn't really care what we wear on this rotation as long as we look presentable. And I've had a lot of fun with that because it's allowed me to wear my sweaters and cardigans as we get into fall and winter weather. Okay, so the plan for the day, crush it on my rotation, go work out my legs, and then study. Okay, it is now like 2 o'clock and I just got off my shift, which is pretty normal because on this rotation, we'll only see a couple patients in the morning, have lunch, write the note for it, and then that's my day. This is the first rotation where I've actually gotten to write notes, so I'm actually kind of enjoying it, and fortunately I have been getting better at it because today the resident, instead of deleting the whole thing and scrapping it and starting new, she basically just edited it, which means it is progress. This rotation has also made me realize that I might be a little bit too trusting because I don't usually think of myself as gullible, but with these patients you really have to consider everything that they're saying and take it with a grain of salt because their health conditions might change how they perceive reality, or they might just straight up tell lies. And then today, like a few times in the past, I wholeheartedly believed everything the patient was telling us, and it turned out not to be entirely true. As far as clinical hours go, that's my Monday, and I'm gonna go work out, then get home, and then study. Okay, let's go have some dinner. Okay, dinner. So I'll make myself rice and veggies every night, but my mom, whenever she visits, actually marinates a bunch of meat and then freezes it for me. So I just have to take that out and cook it however. I do have to say, I've really been looking forward to the psychiatry rotation, and I was really hoping that I would like it because in undergrad I studied psychology, and I really care about this patient population because I do think that they are really vulnerable and quite often misunderstood. Going into this rotation, I definitely had kind of high expectations, high hopes, because I studied it a lot and I made sure that I knew it well so that I'd have a good fund of knowledge going into it and that I'd be able to learn as much as possible from it. And of course, I have heard that the lifestyle is great. Like, there's nothing that compares to the lifestyle of a psychiatrist, even through residency and practice. I really hope that that excitement shines through and really reflects in this video, but I'm going to finish my dinner and then get to studying, and then after that I'll call it a night. Good morning. I really don't know what I did, but I slept wrong and now my upper back is tweaked. So unfortunately, all physical activities will have to be put on pause for the next few days. But I can still do my rotation and I can still study, so let's get started. I just got off and we finished like 45 minutes ago, but my preceptor, I have such a great preceptor. I love when people are passionate about what they do because it really rubs off, and like their excitement gets me excited about the material. And we finished like 45 minutes ago, but he decided to sit down with us and said, you know what, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a lecture today so you walk away with a little bit more education. So for the last 45 minutes, even though he could have gone home and spent time with his daughter or played video games, he sat down with us and told us about all sorts of things and lectured us through it so that we have a better understanding of this when we see it and hopefully study for boards. What was really cool is even beyond what we would learn for boards, he would take that and then expand on it and say like, yes, you learned that, but clinically, this is what you should probably know about it. So overall, so much fun learning from such an amazing, passionate individual. But I am still like very injured. My back still hurts. So I'm gonna just go home, no workout for the day, and then study. Something that I have been having a bit of a hard time with is the fact that I haven't been enjoying psychiatry as a practice quite as much as I thought that I would. Psychiatry is really important to me for a lot of reasons, but I think one of the biggest reasons that I have an emotional attachment to it is because right when I graduated from undergrad, I had one of those big moments where I was like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to go to school and become a doctor? And what really reassured me was the fact that psychiatry, practicing what I had been studying for undergrad and what I had so much interest in and enjoyed so much, was an option. So to get here and realize that it's not everything that I pictured it would be is a little bit hard for me to accept. But I do think that it's something that we should be exploring more as this rotation goes on, and you'll probably hear more about as the week goes on. But I finished studying what I'm required for the day, so I'm actually going to start working on some badging stuff. Getting badge access for a new hospital every single month probably has to be one of the most tedious parts of third year of medical school. But I'm gonna have chicken nuggets for dinner because I am in a lot of pain still and I don't feel like cooking. But I'm probably gonna be doing badging for the rest of the night, so I'll see you tomorrow. So I'm actually back home again in my room because we got off early due to the fact that there were no new consults. So we just had like 7 follow-ups and then that was our day. Even on days like today where it's pretty fast paced and we just run through consults and I'm pretty engaged the whole time, like I don't get tired or bored because there's too much in between, I think I'm starting to acknowledge and just accept the fact that I don't think psych is for me. I've started to realize that some really integral parts of practicing psychiatry are what I dislike about it. So even though I have a really great preceptor who's passionate and gets me excited about it, even though I care about the patient population a lot, just practicing psychiatry itself is just, it's not what I wanted it to be. And in particular, I have a really hard time with the fact that I can't trust the patients. So having to question everything that they say, having to critically look at it and see, are they lying to me? Are they not actually perceiving it correctly? I don't like having to have that high level of suspicion, which I know I'll have to do in pretty much every specialty, but with psych, it's like truly an additional step that you have to take. Like emotionally, I just have a really hard time with the fact that it's hard emotionally because you're dealing with patients that are very sad and emotional, and I get caught up in that and I have a hard time separating that from practicing and focusing on what I actually need to do. But also I just have a really hard time communicating with the patients because a lot of them will have psychomotor slowing, so they speak really slowly and there's long pauses, and I don't think I have enough patience for that. And then when the patients are able to keep up and carry a conversation, a lot of times it's pretty nonsensical. One of the experiences that I had that unfortunately kind of confirmed this for me was a young patient that had early onset schizophrenia or prodromal schizophrenia. It's pretty cool because they were exhibiting some symptoms like echolalia, which is when they nonsensically repeat something that they hear. So I was trying to ask the patient like some social history questions. Do you have any siblings? Are you close with your siblings? And the TV was playing quietly in the background. So I'm asking this patient and the patient's like, yes, I have a sibling. And then something played on the TV and they're like, Slim Jim, Slim Jim, Slim Jim. And I'm like, whoa. And then I'm like trying to communicate with this patient and I'm just having a hard time because one, I'm having to question everything they're saying. Two, it's actually kind of emotional because this is a young patient and they're not entirely aware of their situation, but their parents are very emotional. And then three, I'm like, hey, I see that there's this Rubik's Cube here. Can you solve it? And then the patient's like, I refuse to resolve it, like redacted, redacted, redacted. And then something plays on TV, Malcolm X, Malcolm X, Malcolm X. And looking back at that, it's actually kind of a funny experience. Like if I'm telling that story, if I were to hear that story, I'd probably laugh because there's humor in it. But to practice that and have to do that every single day is just something that I don't think that I'm unfortunately capable of actually doing. So for me, this rotation, as fascinating as it's been, has kind of just been like a tough coming to terms with the fact that for me, psychology and the mind is more of an interest than it is something that I could dedicate my life towards and practice like that. It's definitely something I'm still very much working through because I feel like that's such a big part of who I am, is that compassion, but I have to be able to use my capabilities to the best, and I don't think that what I'm capable of is best put towards psychiatry. That's kind of my thought process for the day, but I'm going to, since I'm home early, study as much as I can in as comfortable a position as I can because my neck is still not at 100. Later on today, I'm going to be meeting up with a friend and having dinner, actually, and I'm really excited because I haven't seen her in a very long time, and she goes to med school nearby. So I haven't seen her since she started med school, so I'm really excited to catch up with her, and hopefully we'll see a little bit of that. But for now, I'm just going to study, and if I can't focus before I see my friend, I'll probably go to like a cafe or something. So I was too shy to get a lot of footage last night, but it's now Thursday and I'm gonna get ready for my rotation. And my mom's gonna come over today and spend the weekend with me. And I just got off for the day, but I was kind of thinking about some advice that I heard from a surgeon who's kind of giving a talk about why you would want to do surgery, because he was kind of going into like, it's a really, really tough field, so then why do people get drawn to it? And one of his biggest pieces of advice was to say that what gets you into something isn't going to be what keeps you there. So he doesn't like reading like personal statements that talk about the thrill of cutting into another human being or the shakiness of a knife, because you wouldn't want your seasoned, well-experienced surgeon to still get that kind of like rush every single time they do a surgery. And even my preceptor now, he says, after like 6 months of doing this, that desire to help people and be empathetic is kind of going to go out the window, because no matter what you do, you're going to get desensitized or jaded to it, which, although I don't necessarily agree with becoming like desensitized or jaded. I get it, because a lot of times when you do something every single day, the novelty of it wears off. And so for me, thinking about that as a medical student who's not even a resident yet, thinking about the fact that I don't really like psychiatry as a practice the same way that I thought I did, it's okay, because psychiatry is kind of what got me into med school. It's what got me into medicine, because it gave me kind of like the resolve to be like, okay, yes, I can do this. But it doesn't have to be what keeps me here, because there are so many opportunities that I wouldn't want to miss out on anything just because I'm so dedicated or loyal to something that I've fallen out of love with. Today in particular, though, was really fun just because the patients, we had time to debrief in between all the patients. And I just like the fact that working with these psychiatry residents that I've been with, I've just clicked really well with them. So although the field may not be for me, the people I definitely still jive with, because in between while we were debriefing, like, I'm cracking jokes and I'm being silly and I'm making funny noises, and they're not judging me or getting on my case about it. Like, they're kind of like, they're kind of pitching in a little bit. So it's nice to just be surrounded by people who I can get along with, and like our personalities mix. It's not just like we work well together, but like our personalities, the silly things about us, the things that we like, it's like they kind of merge well enough to have a good time in addition to getting stuff done. Look, my mother is here now. I have a little extra time tonight, so I'm gonna play some Pokemon before I go to sleep. Good morning, happy Friday, and I'm going to go to my rotation now. My mom's officially in town, so I don't really know what we're gonna do for the rest of the day, but I'll keep you updated as we go. Hey, I just got home, and despite the fact that we stayed long today was actually a really good day. Obviously, I've been struggling a little bit with this rotation because I really wanted to do psychiatry and I really wanted to like it. But then going in every single day with the mindset of, can I do this for the rest of my life? I was kind of scrutinizing every single detail and every single moment, and that kind of led me to not really enjoy it because I was recognizing and seeing all the things that I wouldn't like about it in the long term. Today, I kind of had a bit of a mindset shift because I was kind of like, oh, well, if I'm not going to do this forever, then going in today, I was kind of like, well, I'll only get to do this for a little bit longer. And then suddenly I was looking at all the things that I liked about it and that I enjoyed about it. And we got to see some really interesting cases today. Looking at all the things that I like about it, it still doesn't outnumber the things that I dislike about practicing psychiatry. So I still know that it's not going to be for me. But I really like the fact that just that little mindset shift of, can I do this forever, and scrutinizing the details versus, oh, I'm not going to get to do this forever, so I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts. And appreciating the parts of it that I do like. Now I'm kind of sad that I only have a week left, but as far as clinical time this week goes, I'm done with my rotation for this week. So then tomorrow and Sunday, I'm just going to be doing some fun stuff, hanging out with my mom. We're probably going to go hiking, and then I'm going to study too. So you'll see me studying a little bit over the weekend as well. But for now, let's get inside and let's see what the rest of Friday has to bring. Hi, good morning. Last night after studying, pretty much all I did was play Pokemon, but now we're on Saturday, and I'm going to start the day by having breakfast with my mom and then hiking, and then I'm just going to kind of bide my time until about 5 o'clock when I'll be meeting up with Gio so that we can study, because we have a shelf exam at the end of, on Friday. Let's get outside a little bit. Hi. There's so many different paths that we can take out here. We just got back from the hike, so we're gonna get cleaned up, but my mom's friends are also in town and they're down at the strip, so we're gonna make a little drop in to say hi to them. So that was a fun little side quest, and now I'm heading to campus so that I can study with Gio. So now my Saturday is technically done. It was a very successful Saturday. I managed to go hiking with my mom. I saw some of my mom's friends, and then I went and studied on campus with Gio. I'm now on call with Kayla, and after I finish catching up with her for a little bit, I'm gonna go to bed. So I'll see you tomorrow on Sunday, and... You didn't corner it? So I am now at Red Rock with my mom and her friend. Hello. I like him. Look at that rock color. So that was the last little side quest that I had for the weekend. My mom and her friend have since gone home, and all that I have left to do for the rest of the night are some last minute things just to prepare for the last week of my rotation and studying for my shelf exam. I do really still like psychology and I really care about it, but I have come to accept the fact that psychiatry as a practice is just not something that I think I could see myself doing in the long term. I do still think that it's a really wonderful specialty. It's got a phenomenal lifestyle, and as I've learned with all specialties, there is opportunity in every specialty. I just realized that the way that I have to interface with patients wouldn't be how I would idealize my future as a physician. I do hope that anybody watching this has found something valuable in it and enjoyed seeing this. And I hope that either the reflections or the little side quests or maybe just the parasocial relationship that you built with me could bring you some sort of fruition. And maybe if I'm watching this in the future, I hope that when I look back, I am happy with this decision that I'm currently making right now, or how I'm seeing the world and expressing myself. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you next month. I've got family medicine for my next rotation, and I've heard that I'm going to be seeing a lot of really cool things there. So whether it is my future self watching this back, I hope that you reflect on this fondly, or if you are somebody else watching this, I hope that you also enjoyed this and look forward to seeing what the future will bring, as I will have my family med rotation next. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.